Ready now for the last half of the second inning. 1-0 favor the Cleveland Indians. It's Kenny Keltner leading off in the last of the second for Cleveland. He'll be followed by Wally Judnick and then Eddie Robinson. Johnny Sain, the right-hander, throws a pitch that's inside, ball one. Johnny beat the Indians opening day at Boston, 1-0. The Indians got a run on him in the first inning today. Now the right-hander delivers. Keltner takes curve over for a called strike, 1-1. Johnny Sain, big 6'2", 200-pounder. Born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Lives in Belleville, Arkansas right now. Big John delivers. Kenny Keltner swings and lines one to Al Dark, who comes up to the ball and handcuffs him. There's the throw to first, and it's in time for the out. Nice play by Dark. That ball was well tagged. It was a low, mean liner that hit the dirt right at his feet, bounced right up into his midsection. It almost handcuffed him, but he held on to the ball and then fired to first to retire Keltner by a stride. One away in the last half of the second inning. And here's Wally Judnick. Judnick bats him left-handed. Johnny Sain delivers. Fastball is high outside, ball one. Judnick hasn't had a hit in the World Series. Kenny Keltner had 1 out of 11. Here's your pitch, and it's over the inside corner. Beautiful curve. Back Judnick away from there, but the ball got the corner, and the count is 1-1. It's 1-0 Cleveland, last half of the second inning. Sain throws, working fast, a pitch that's cut on, foul back to the screen. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. The series has not been noted for any robust hitting yet. It's been predominantly a pitcher's series thus far, and a series that has been devoid comparatively of any tremendous excitement. Judnick swings and rams one down the first baseline, grabbed by Torgeson, who runs to the bag and outlegs Judnick for out number 2. That ball was well hit. There have been a lot of balls well hit so far today, but right at the players, and Torgeson has come up with a couple of good plays, particularly in the first inning on Doby's smash. So with 2 down, up comes Eddie Robinson. Robinson, the left-hand hitter. From Paris, Texas, the pitch. Outside, ball one. Robinson has had 2 out of 9 in the series, hitting at .222. One of the nicest fellas you'll ever want to meet. He got a good smile and very little to say. Now the pitch to him is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. He looks like he might make a good fullback on some college or pro team. Now the 2-0 pitch. Curveball's inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Robinson stands 6'2", weighs 205. Was born in Paris, Texas, and still lives in Paris, Texas. Now the pitch being taken is in there for a called strike. 3-1 the count. Sain hasn't appeared to be quite as effective today as he was on opening day. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on, line out into right field, and it's in there for a base hit. Taken on 2 hops out there by Tommy Holmes, who whips his long throw into second to Al Dark. And Eddie Robinson holds at first after taking his turn with a line single to right. That's Robinson's 3rd hit of the series. Jimmy Hegan, who's had 2 out of 9, hitting at .222, steps up. The boy from Lynn, Massachusetts. Outfield shifts around toward left. Jim doesn't hit too consistently, or hasn't yet learned how, but he hits a long ball and can be very dangerous in the clutch. There's a lob over to first base, not in time. Earl Torgeson, left-handed throwing first baseman, relays the ball back to Johnny Sain. John has the stretch. Robinson moves off first, the pitch. Hegan swings and misses. Strike 1. 1-0 the score, favor of Cleveland. Last half of the second inning. 4th game of the series. The Indians are 1 up, having taken 2 out of the 3 games played thus far. Now the pitch, swung on, hit high into the air, pop up, down the third baseline. Elliott under it, so is Dark. Let's see who gets it. Dark. Dark made the catch in fair territory. The wind, and we were forced to look at the wind then. We hadn't given it much thought. Elliott went into foul territory about 15 feet behind the bag at third. to get under the ball, and Al Dark had come over from short, and then suddenly Elliott started backing into fair territory, and when Dark caught the ball, he was on the grass, on the edge of the outfield grass, and about 10 feet in fair territory. And the flags on top of the stadium roof are now blowing very hard, so that the wind is blowing around from left field out toward center. That would mean that balls that might be hit down the left field line instead of curving foul might be kept in fair territory. The Indians fail to score in the last of the second inning. They get one hit. No errors for the Braves and one left on for Cleveland. And the score at the end of 2 innings of play, Cleveland 1, Boston nothing. Going into the top of the third inning, it'll be Eddie Stanky, Johnny Sain, and then Tommy Holmes for the Boston Braves to see what they can do with the slants of Steve Gromek. Eddie Stanky, who now hails from Mobile, Alabama, steps up to the plate. He's a 5'8", 170-pounder. Born in Philadelphia, he now resides in Mobile. Stands very deep in the batter's box, in close to the plate. First pitch to him, swung on. It's a long fly ball, curving foul out of play and into the upper deck. Down the left field line. Strike one the count on Eddie. Stanky's had 2 out of 7 in the series, hitting at .286. Outfield plays him toward right in center and right, but straight away in left, so that the big hole's in left center. Now the pitch. Stanky swings and hits it right into that spot I just told you about. And it's in there for a base hit. Doby cuts the ball off beautifully and holds Stanky to a single as he whips a throw into Gordon at second. Stanky hit the ball right into that big hole in left center, but he didn't have enough drive behind it to make it go on through for extra bases. Larry Doby took off after it very fast and was able to cut the ball off. Plus the fact that Stanky's ankle injury has slowed him up considerably and his speed has been noticeably reduced. That's the second hit off Gromek. Brings to the plate Johnny Sain. Indians are not looking for the bunt. The pitch is bunted down the first baseline, and the ball is picked up by Hegan. Throws to Robinson in time for the out, moving Stanky to second. Despite the fact that the Indians were not looking for the bunt, and when I say not looking for it, I mean by that the third baseman and first baseman were not charging the plate. Sain did bunt and was out, Hegan, to Eddie Robinson. It's a sacrifice for Sain, moves Stanky to second, and brings to the plate Tommy Holmes. Holmes flied to right field in the first inning. 1-0 favorite Cleveland, top of the third inning. Gromek has the stretch, checks his runner. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a call strike to Tommy. Lou Boudreau motions to Dale Mitchell in left about something or other. It doesn't bring him in or send him out any. He just motions to him. Now he motions out to Wally Judnick. Now he moves Doby over in the middle. There's a ball swung on, hit to third. Keltner up with it, bluffs Stanky back to second, throws over to first to Robinson in time for the out. Holmes grounding out, third to first. Stanky holds second. With 2 down, up comes Alvin Dark. Dark fouled out to Jimmy Hegan in the first inning. And the Braves still find themselves unable to crash through in the hitting department. Getting occasional hits, but they're not able to bunch many of them for runs. Gromek throws. Dark takes high outside now for ball 1. Outfield almost straight away for Dark. Larry Doby's just a step into right center from being in a straightaway center position. Stanky moves off second base. Here's your pitch. Dark takes over the outside corner, letter high for a called strike. 1-1. Steve Gromek looks in, gets a sign from Jimmy Hegan. Kenny Keltner halfway back at third, guarding the line. Lou Boudreau is in 4 or 5 steps at short. Over a little closer to second than the third. Joe Gordon very deep at second. and shading second a little more than first, with Eddie Robinson deep and about 10 feet off the first baseline. Now we're all set with the count 1 ball, 1 strike to stretch by Gromek. Looks back at second. The pitch. Dark swings and fouls it off to the right of the plate, trying to hit the right field. And the ball is out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 2 down. Top of the third, 1-0 favor of Cleveland. Cleveland got its 1 run in the first inning for you late tuners in, when Mitchell single went to second and infield out and scored on Lou Boudreau's double into the right field corner. Gromek ready again. Eddie Stanky moves off second. Doesn't take too big a lead, fearful of that pickoff. Here's your pitch. Swung on, and it's popped up into the air. Into short right. Joe Gordon backtracks and makes the catch for the out in short right field. So the Braves fail to score. No runs, 1 hit. No errors for the Indians, 1 left on for Boston. And it's the second time in 3 innings that the Braves have had a runner as far as second base, but unable to send him around. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, the score is Cleveland 1, Boston 0. In the experience of Steve O'Neill, as you heard him say this afternoon, Gillette Blue Blades are the easiest shaving kind there is, and the new Gillette dispenser a great convenience. Take a page out of Steve's experience. Enjoy extra shaving comfort and convenience. Get a Gillette dispenser. With it, you change blades in a jiffy. 1 thrust of your thumb and zip. There's an unwrapped blade for any Gillette razor. It comes loaded with 20 Gillette Blue Blades, 40 shaving edges, and protects them perfectly. Edges don't even touch the dispenser when blades are being injected. You pay nothing extra, just 98 cents, price of the blades alone. Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp. Use Gillette Blue Blades with the sharpest edges ever honed. Yes, and for utmost convenience, get them in the new Gillette dispenser. Last half of the 3rd inning, Steve Gromek leads off for Cleveland. He bats him left-handed. Johnny Sane throws. Gromek takes fastball over for a called strike. Right over the heart of the plate, about letter high. Bob Elliott almost even with the bag and about 5 feet off the third baseline. Johnny Sane ready. An overhand fastball is cut on, foul off to the left of the plate. Might have been a curve. 2 strikes the count now on Gromek. Steve's a 6-foot, 280-pounder. Sane throws. Curveball that stays high. 1-2 the count now. They don't play Gromek to pull. They shade him toward left. Johnny Sane delivers. Gromek takes now high for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Last half, 3rd inning. 1-0 Cleveland. Now the delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Steve Gromek goes down striking out to become the first strikeout victim of Johnny Sane. And we go now to the top of the order to pick up Dale Mitchell, who singled to center in the 1st inning and scored the first and thus far only run of the ball game a little while later on Lou Boudreau's double into the right field corner. Johnny Sane ready to work on the left-hand batter. Throws. Fastball. It's high. Ball 1. That was the 7th strikeout of the series for Johnny Sane. Struck out 6 opening day. Here's your pitch. Swung on and missed by Mitchell for a strike. He sort of held up a little bit, trying to time that curve. Then swung viciously, but missed it. He tried to pull it, too. Now, the outfield doesn't play Mitchell to pull too sharply. Here's your delivery. Mitchell swings and sends a little dribbler out toward short. There is Elliott in front of Dark, up with the ball. Throws to first in time for the out on the close play. Mitchell grounding out Elliott to Torgeson. Little slow roller hit out toward short. But Elliott went over in front of Dark, scooped the ball up glove-handed, and made the play. Chances are, had Dark been allowed to handle the ball, Mitchell might have beaten it. With 2 down, up steps Larry Doby. Grounded out Torgeson to Johnny Sane, who covered first in the 1st inning. Left-hand hitter. Johnny Sane delivers. Sidearm fastball swung on and missed. It is foul tipped, and the Ball bounced off the arm or leg, I believe, of Phil Macy. Anyway, it hurt him a little bit. He shakes it off, though, and he's all right. Strike one, the count on Doby. Lou Boudreau is on deck. Will hit next if Doby gets on. 1-0 Cleveland, last half of the third inning. The stern-looking Johnny Sain ready. He's into the windup. Round comes the right arm, the pitch, an overhand fastball swung on, hit high and deep in the right center field. The ball is going. It is gone. The first home run. For the first home run of the 1948 World Series, a long high drive into right center that cleared the 380-foot sign, and the Indians lead 2-0. Lou Boudreau is up, a right-hand batter. The first pitch to him, swung on, hit on the ground out to short, Dark to his left, up with it, throws over to Torgeson in time for the out. 1 run for Cleveland, 1 hit, no errors for Boston, nobody left on for the Indians. And at the end of 3 innings, Cleveland leads 2-0. As we saw the first unfurling of a real power blast, Larry Doby's homer over the right center field fence. And now we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WOR, New York, the Mutual station that brings you the World Series and other top sports events the year round.
Ready now for the top half of the fourth inning. It'll be Earl Torgeson, Bob Elliott, and Marv Rickert coming up for the Braves. The crowd, a huge crowd, perhaps the largest crowd of the series thus far, with a tremendous number of standees in behind the fence of the outfield. A little wire barrier that extends around the outfield. Should send this crowd up somewhere around 75 to 80,000 today. At any rate, they got a big wallop out of the first 4-ply wallop of the World Series. And now here is the first pitch into Earl Torgeson. And it's just outside for ball 1 from Steve Gromek. The series had seen 6 extra base hits until Doby got his homer. 3 doubles for the Braves and 3 for the Indians. Now the delivery is swung on. It's a ground ball hit down the first base line. Robinson boots it, picks it up, flips to Gromek, covering in time for the out. One of those slow bounders, an easy chance that sometimes will give the infielders more trouble than a hard hit ball. Robinson booted it, momentarily recovered, and flipped to Gromek in time to retire Torgeson. Torgeson had doubled in the first inning with 2 down. And now you've got Bob Elliott stepping in. Elliott fouled out to Hegan in the first inning. Right-hand batter. Cleveland 2. The Boston Braves nothing. Top of the 4th inning. Ball game moving along quite rapidly. Steve Gromek into the windup. Round comes the right arm, the pitch. Elliott swings and sends a little roller down the third base line. Keltner scoops it up near the bag, throws over to first, in time for the out, as Eddie Robinson had to really stretch to receive that throw in time to retire Bob Elliott. Another close play at first base. 2 down, and you've got Marv Rickert stepping up. Rickert lined out to Eddie Robinson at first base in the second inning. Left-hand batter. Hails from Tacoma, Washington. Gromek throws. A pitch is swung on, lined out into center. Doby comes fast, can't get it. Takes it on 1 hop, throws on into second, and Rickert is on at first with a line single to center for the Braves' 3rd hit of the ball game. And for Rickert, It is his second hit of the series. He was called in at the last moment, as you know, as a replacement for Jeff Heath when Jeff broke his ankle. Jim Russell and Jeff Heath, both brave outfielders, out of action because of illness, with Jim in a Pittsburgh hospital listening into the series. Both of those boys would have given the Braves a little extra power that they might have been able to use to get advantage. And now you've got Mike McCormick up. He swings the first pitch and hits it out to short to Boudreau, who's up with it over to Gordon for the force out on Rickard at second. And the Braves continue to find it impossible to bunch any base hits. No runs, one hit, no errors for the Indians, one left on for Boston. And at the end of 3.5 innings, the score, Cleveland 2, Boston nothing. Now, as some of you fans may recall, Gustavus Heinrich Schmelz, one-time pilot of the Cincinnati Reds, was the only Major League manager who ever wore a full beard. Unless you're also the exception that proves my point, you'll go for the improved Gillette Super Speed Razor that permits instant blade changing. Believe me, it's the most convenient shaving instrument a man can use. This ultra-modern razor has a notched positioning bar for use with a handy Gillette Blue Blade dispenser. You just hook on a blade and it drops in place, presto. No, you don't have to be a locksmith to make this combination work. Twist, the razor opens. Zip, it's loaded. Twist again, and you enjoy the slickest shaves ever. Ask for the improved Gillette Super Speed Razor with 10-blade dispenser. A regular $1.50 value for only $1. Joe Gordon leads off last of the fourth inning. Swings at the first pitch, accidentally hits a grounder back to the mound. Taken by Sane, flips over to Torgerson for out number one. Gordon tried to duck the pitch. It hit the handle of his bat and rolled easily out to the mound, off to the right as we look out onto the playing field. And it was an easy chance for Sane, who flipped over to Torgerson for the putout. So there's one away for the Indians last half of the fourth inning, and Kenny Keltner stepping up. The right-hand batter was tossed out by Al Dark in the second inning. Pull hitter, Johnny Sane sidearms him, and it's a swing and a miss by Kenny Keltner for strike one. Outfield around toward left. You got Rickard in left, Mike McCormick in center, Holmes in right. Elliott third, Dark short, Stanky second, Torgerson first. Macy catching. Sane pitching to Kenny Keltner, who takes outside and high. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2-0 Cleveland. Last half of the fourth inning of the fourth game of the 48 World Series. Johnny Sane delivers to Keltner, who swings and pops it up in the air foul off to the left of the plate, and it's going to go out of play. The ball dropping in behind the Braves dugout. Bob Elliott went chasing over for the ball, but couldn't get to it. And there's quite a scramble for the ball, and the fans got a big wallop out of it, as they always do. The ball dropped just in behind Commissioner A.B. Chandler's box. Incidentally, the commissioner has his father with him, 79-year-old Mr. Chandler. And he's got just as hearty a handshake as his son has. Now the pitch to Keltner is inside, moves him away from the plate. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Walter Judnick is on deck. There's 1 out, last of the fourth inning. Nobody on for Cleveland. They lead the Braves 2-0. Johnny Sane throws, and the pitch is high inside to Keltner for ball 3, 3-2. Sane, so far at least, has indicated that the brief period of rest he's had between starts in this series has done him more harm than Billy Southworth had hoped. Sane pitched with 2 days rest a number of times down the stretch till Boston won the pennant and did it very effectively. His payoff pitch to Keltner swung on and popped up into the air down the third baseline. Elliott moves over into foul territory, makes the catch, and they're 2 away. Keltner fouls out to Elliott at third. Now here's Wally Judnick. Judnick grounded out to Earl Torgerson in the second inning. Judnick, a left-hand batter. Johnny Sane comes in with a sidearm fastball that's inside. Ball 1. Judnick is 6'2", 185-pounder from San Francisco. Sain throws. Judnick swings and misses. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Last half of the 4th inning. 2-0 Cleveland. Outfield round toward right. Played Judnick to pull. Tommy Holmes almost out of sight in right field. Sain delivers. Outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Big John's got a big chew stuck off in the side of his big cheek. Kind of shifts it from side to side now and then. And his 2-1 pitch on its way. Judnick takes a curve low inside. Ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Sain just then indicated that he's somewhat disgusted with himself. Just to a slight degree. Now he throws, and the pitch is foul-tipped at the plate. Strike 2. Got a full count on Judnick, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on last, the 4th. Big John into the windup, the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the second strikeout recorded by Sain in this game, his 8th of the series. The Indians out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Braves. Nobody left on for Cleveland. And at the end of 4 innings, which have taken some 40 minutes to play, the Indians lead by a score of 2-0. Your 4-inning totals: Cleveland, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on. The Braves, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on. The Indians got their first run in the 1st inning, for you late tuners in, when Mitchell single moved to second on an infield out and scored on Lou Boudreau's double into the right field corner, which precipitated quite an argument as Lou attempted to make it a triple and was out at third on the close play, Holmes to Dark to Elliott. And it was Bill Stewart who, again, was cast in the role of having to call a very close play. And for the second time in the series, it happened to go against the Indians. And, of course, Lou Boudreau lost no time in arguing. The second run came in the 3rd inning when, with 2 down, Larry Doby hit the first and only home run of the series thus far, a towering crash over the right center field fence at the 380-foot mark. The Braves have had a couple of opportunities. Torgeson doubled in the 1st inning with 2 down. Stanky singled in the 3rd, was sacrificed to second, but couldn't get him around. Then with 2 outs in the 4th, Rickard singled, but he was forced at second by McCormick. Now Phil Macy leads off in the top of the 5th inning for the Boston Braves. Here's your pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground out to short on 1 hop to Lou Boudreau. He's up with it over to first baseman Eddie Robinson, and Macy is out at first. When that ball left the bat, it looked for a split second as if it might be going for a base hit. But Lou somehow has that uncanny knack of getting in front of balls. He was in front of that one and converted it into a putout. Now you have Eddie Stanky, who's had one of the 3 Braves hits, stepping up, single left in the 3rd inning. Gromek throws. Stanky takes a curve that's over the outside corner for a called strike. Stanky's had 3 hits in the series thus far. Before the start of today's game, there had been only 32 hits in the series. In other words, in the 3 games that were played up until today, the Braves had had 15 hits and the Indians 17. The Indians had scored 6 runs and the Braves 2. Nothing too explosive about that, as you can understand. Here's your pitch, swung on. The ground ball hit out to short, scooped up by Lou Boudreau. There's a throw over to first in time for the out. So Stanky grounds out short to first. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Johnny Sain walking up to the plate. It rained all night. The sun is out now, however. And there's several spots in the outfield that are quite soggy. The infield is in excellent condition. Emil Bossard and his crew of groundkeepers, one of the best organizations of its kind in the majors, got that infield in good shape. There's a pitch swung on, hit in the hole between first and second, out in the left field for a base hit by Johnny Sain. Up with the ball as Dale Mitchell whips his throw into Boudreau at second, and Sain is on with a line single to left. So Johnny crashes the hit column. That's the 4th hit for the Braves, and like yesterday, though they didn't get too many hits, yet the hits that they did get were scattered. They weren't able to get more than one hit in any inning. You've got Tommy Holmes up now. He flied to right, grounded to third. He swings and lifts a high pop-up, going after that first pitch. It's back to first to Eddie Robinson there, and Gordon makes the catch in foul territory for the out. No runs for the Braves, one hit, no errors for Cleveland. One man left on for Boston. And at the end of 4 1/2 innings of play, the score, Cleveland 2, Boston nothing.